Hey friends, welcome. Thank you so much for being here today. Today I'd like to talk with you about, well, a couple of things. I want to give you an update on the wig on my head, but I want to talk about making a human hair wig your own. This can actually apply to synthetic wigs somewhat, and I will make that connection. So if you're a synthetic wig wearer, I have some tips for you as well that can help you on this journey. But the unique challenge about human hair wigs is that they more often than not need to be customized to your liking and made your own. I know that is said by all of us wig reviewers. You need to make a wig your own, and that is absolutely true of any wig. But I think human hair wigs are more challenging in the sense that they're really expensive, and the feeling is it's much more scary to customize a human hair wig because of the expense than a synthetic. That doesn't mean synthetics aren't scary either, but I do think that there is a level of risk, kind of the stakes are higher when it comes to an expensive human hair wig. So I'd like to talk about that a little bit, give you an update on this piece, and tell you what I've done to it to help make it my own, and hopefully this conversation will give you some encouragement. So if this sounds interesting to you, let's go. Friends, I just want to give you guys a quick disclaimer. Customizing a wig is not for everyone. I do talk later in the video about practicing on cheaper wigs. You can find them on Amazon, but I also have a blog post at my website. I have the screen up right now, and I have created a list of retailers and stylists that will customize wigs. If you don't know anyone in person, and many of us do not know anyone in person who can do this, it can be one of the biggest frustrations on the journey. Consider going to this document. So I have it up right now. I have multiple tabs on the bottom, and one of them is send in customization services. I'm clicking on it right now. This is the list. I continue to add to it. So if you have a wig that needs to be customized and you're too nervous to give it a shot on your own and you don't want to practice on a cheaper wig, consider reaching out to one of these and see if they can help you. I'm sure that they can. Now, on to the rest of the video. My name is Denise. I'm also known as Hey Wig Sister on Instagram and Facebook. I've been wearing wigs for 5 years. I've been losing my hair due to androgenic alopecia for 25 years. I have a lot of hair loss experience, and I've tried just about everything. In 2018, my journey led me to wigs when my hair loss got so bad that hair fibers and creative styling could not hide it anymore. And ever since then, I have been soaking up everything that I can about wig wearing and working really hard to understand this wig wearing community so that I can be a support. And I just love sharing tips, tricks, advice. I do wig reviews. I kind of cover it all. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. Today, I want to give you an update on this wig right here. It is the Milano Divine. I reviewed this piece 3 months ago, and I am loving it more and more every day as I make it my own. So that's going to be the focus of this video. But let me show you this one from all sides. The reason I chose this piece when I purchased it from them is the density. I was really looking for something light density that would be super natural looking, easy to wear, not overwhelming. Wearing heavier wigs, thicker wigs can be overwhelming, especially when you're new in the wig wearing journey. And I know a lot of you are right there. You're struggling to find the piece. You're worried that it's going to be too much hair, or you've tried a lot of wigs that are simply too much hair. So if that's you, definitely check out the Divine line from Milano. I will put a link in the description, and they've been gracious enough to give me a 10% discount to share with you, and that discount code is in the description as well. I do want to really make clear, I'm never ever here to sell you anything, not ever. I like to share information. I try to get coupon codes whenever I can. Occasionally I get an affiliate link from companies. That really helps me continue to do what I do. I don't want to put any expense on my wig sister community. So don't ever watch my videos thinking, oh, she's just trying to sell us another wig. That's never ever my intention. I do free phone and video consults to meet with you where you are and just help you navigate this world, because I'm not in it to make money from you. I just want to make that clear. So let's talk about this wig and what I've done to it, because that's what's relevant to this conversation. It's very rare for you to get a piece, any piece, synthetic human hair, and it's absolutely 100% perfect out of the box. That can happen, but I would say more often than not, it's important that you learn some skills and some techniques that can help you make the wig your own without having to spend any additional money. In previous videos, I've shown how to pluck a part line, how to pluck a hairline. I've mainly shown that on synthetic wigs because I find those often need plucking and you know, thinning out on the top. They can often be a little bit overwhelming. I would say if you're purchasing human hair from a reputable retailer, they've often done a lot of that work for you. I really haven't had the experience where I felt the need to do additional plucking on the wigs that I've purchased that are human hair, but it often happens with synthetic. I will link that video or some other videos that I think would be helpful to you on this topic below in the description, so that if you've never seen my video on how to pluck a hairline, you can go watch that video. One thing though that is really common with human hair wigs is having to cut some sort of face framing layers, possibly having to thin out the front or debulk. Many wig retailers that sell human hair that are reputable, higher end retailers like Milano, they do all of that for you. But if you're going to go the budget route, especially, that could be something you're gonna find that you're gonna have to do. Now, if you have a hairstylist that will work on a wig for you, that is gold. I would hazard to say most of us don't actually know anybody here locally in real life that can actually work on a wig, and it's tough to find people who are willing to do that. I had a hairstylist who cuts my kids' hair trim up a couple of wigs for me in the past, and she was so nervous. She would only do the bare minimum because she doesn't work with wigs, and she realized the importance of not getting it wrong because the hair is not going to grow back. On this piece, when I first reviewed it, I didn't do anything to it. I'll actually link my original review below so that you can go watch that if you're curious. I didn't even curl it. It was straight, and I hadn't done any customizing to it. And I never really do before a review on a piece because I want people to be able to see what it looked like out of the box. But since then, I have been working on this piece. And for me, when it comes to human hair, because of the expense, the customizations that I do are a process, and they're done over time. I never sit down in one session and go at a wig because you just never know how it's going to work for you. Here's what I did with this one. So I've shown this thinning razor, texturizing razor a ton of times in previous videos. In my opinion, this is a must-have product that every wig wearer should have one of these, and they're very inexpensive. And along with this come replacement blades. You'll get a bunch in your original order, and then you can order more. So what I did with this piece is I have been slowly cutting some face framing layers in, putting light layers in the front so that it looks more natural. It doesn't look, and it's already low density, so it doesn't need much of that, but let me demonstrate for you. So I see a piece right here. And I always want to go I don't want to take a lot of hair. I will take many breaks, sometimes stopping and wearing the wig for a few days before I go back and do any more. But basically, here's what I mean by face framing layers. I just go down like this. You can see how I'm working my way down the strand and cutting a little bit of that off. And the reason I do it that way is because then you don't get, and then I'll go like this and just see how it's laying. Do I need to do more? Is it laying okay? Now, the reason I don't use a regular scissors is because, in my opinion, a regular scissors is too easy to mess up with. Unless you're really steady and talented, to try to do something like that with a scissors, you could risk chopping a huge section off and having this blunt edge that isn't going to look natural. So what I've been doing this morning I did quite a bit, but over the, past month when I would put this wig on, I would just play with it and I'd look at it and I'd say, how is it looking? Do I have any strands that seem really heavy compared to the others? And I've been slowly doing that. Another great way to use this is to trim up bangs, and I have multiple videos showing you how to do that. So if you're a bang wearer, I will link that video below so that you can trim up your bangs on your own. It's just a really easy way to work on a piece so that it fits your face. Let's think about how wigs are made. They're made on a mannequin head. You know, these retailers, these manufacturers, they're not putting these wigs on a human head, certainly not your human head, and cutting and thinning. And so they're trying to do it in the most generic way possible, with the thought that when you get it, you're going to have it finished up to your own face shape, to your own face size. I mean, I think I'm 8 inches from here to here. You may be 9 inches from there to there. You may be 7 inches from there to there. And so if they were to cut this on my face, if you're longer than me, this is going to be shorter on you. If you're shorter than me, this is going to be longer on you. Do you see what I'm saying? So working on these pieces over time to help make it yours is really going to make this wig wearing journey a lot more satisfying to you, because the wig isn't going to come out of the box ready to wear. It's not going to be perfect for you, and that's okay. That's why we learn how to do these things. Because this is so scary to so many people, and because human hair wigs are so costly, I recommend that you purchase some cheap Amazon wigs in the beginning and practice with those. I believe you can find super cheap, not high quality human hair if you wanted to practice with human hair, but you can also do it with synthetic. Now, synthetic is going to behave just slightly differently, and so I would it's good practice, but it's not a one-on-one experience. So if you only work on synthetic, human hair is going to be just a little bit different. The best tip I can give you is to make sure that you change your blade regularly, especially if you use it on synthetic wigs. Synthetic is like a plastic type material, and it's very hard on scissors and razor blades. So if you're going to use a blade on a synthetic, change that blade before you use it on your human hair. When you go through the piece, it should go through like butter. It should not cause any, you shouldn't have to saw at the hair. You shouldn't have to scrape at it. If you feel resistance, like it's not just flowing through the strand, change the blade. I shared a video a while ago where I showed how to use a blade like this to cut face framing layers in a human hair wig that I have. And I did get a few comments of people saying, never ever use a blade on human hair, you will cause split ends. So I did some research. I asked some stylists that I absolutely trust, and I got comments from others whose stylists use blades on their hair. And I can assure you that if you use a brand new sharp blade, you don't saw at the hair, you just do a pass through like I showed you, you're not going to damage your hair. But make sure those blades are sharp. So if you are currently wearing wigs, considering wigs, and you're struggling, maybe you're frustrated because every wig you put on just doesn't look as good on you as it looks on everyone else, there's two things. Number one, our brains just don't process this stuff very well in the beginning. It does take time. I promise you, if you are diligent and you persevere, you will get to the point where you love wearing wigs and your brain doesn't see it as an abnormality anymore. Secondly, you can make wigs your own. Any wig that you have, you can make it your own, and you should. You should consider what your preferences are. To think that you're gonna buy a wig off the rack every single time that is gonna be exactly how you would have created it is not realistic. And that's why I do so many tip videos showing you how to style wigs, how to customize, how to pluck part lines and all of those. Thanks for watching, you guys. And can I just give a shout out to our wig sister, Deb. She has a small jewelry business called 𝘠𝑒𝑏𝑒𝑑𝑠 by Deb, and she makes the most gorgeous jewelry. I am blown away by her talent. I own 3 of her chokers now. I'm so in love with these chokers because they're not tight and they can adjust to whatever neck size you have. And she usually has matching bracelets and earrings, and I just love her. Her stuff is incredible. Just a shout out to her. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll talk to you in my next video. Hey friends, thanks so much for watching. Here are a few videos I think you might enjoy. Go ahead and click on one and watch.